This is LWT. It's time now to join ITN for the latest world news. It's 8:45.
The Prince and Princess of Wales begin the conquest of Washington. The M4 rapist, armed police guard his surviving victims. Archbishop's envoy receives a letter from American hostages in Beirut. And the Rugby League punch-up, which ended in a draw. Good evening. Washington and the White House is all set to throw the dinner party of the year for the Prince and Princess of Wales, who have begun their 4-day visit. The guest list, kept secret till the last minute, reads like a Hollywood who's who. Earlier, away from the social scene, the Princess of Wales won American hearts when she stopped to chat and hold hands with a boy dying from a brain tumor.
They are the second most photographed couple in America. Only the Reagans appear more often. Yet today was the first time that they'd ever visited America together. In the crowd, an American boy with a Union Jack. He'd been brought 1,000 miles from Mississippi, terminally ill, blinded with a brain tumor. The Make-A-Wish Foundation for Terminally Ill Children had granted him a wish. He'd wanted to meet the princess.
When she walked up, she said, "Oh, hello." And I had my record there. She said, "What have you got here?" I said, "I've got a record here for you." She said, "Oh, for me? It's beautiful." I stayed there holding her hand the whole time she was there. And I figured I just had to let her go, you know. She had to go on or I wouldn't.
And go she had to. Both of them lifted by presidential helicopter over the autumnal treetops to the British Embassy in the heart of Washington. Few Americans out to see them in the flesh as they were moved by Rolls-Royce from helipad to ambassadorial residence. When it came to the White House, the public was far outnumbered by the media, a great pile of them heaped in front of the famous facade, far more than are ever seen for visiting heads of state. It was one moment the lenses searched for, the royal ensign drifting through the grounds, the arrival at the White House door, and the moment, the two most famous couples in America photographed together. A symphony of clattering shutters. Every Sunday paper, TV news and color magazine exclusively fulfilled. They then retired for 50 minutes of coffee. What they discussed is not disclosed. This is, after all, a private visit. The afternoon found brass and Americans waiting at a venue similar to many the princess has visited the other side of the Atlantic. She is at this moment at a home for the very old and terminally ill. Inside she will find at least one resident who at 98 remembers waiting around for Queen Victoria. That was, of course, the other side of the water, and not many cameras were present then either. Prince Charles at this moment is at the Institute of Architects here to attend a seminar on inner city decay and what to do about it. Americans are intrigued that terminal illness and inner city deprivation can be the concern of people that they have tended only to see as stars. Tonight, they will be rewarded with a star-studded gala evening at the White House. John Snow, ITN, Washington.
President Reagan has told the Soviet people that they have nothing to fear from the United States, insisting the country would never threaten them. And in a special radio broadcast beamed to the Soviet Union, he talked of his optimism for the forthcoming summit with Mr. Gorbachev.
I want expanded contacts between our two great societies, wherever there is mutual interest. I'm particularly interested in increasing exchanges among our young people, for they are our future. We should open a dialogue between our nations, so leaders of each country would have the same chance to communicate to the people of the other on television. If more of your citizens visited us, you would understand that our people want peace as fervently as you do.
The Archbishop of Canterbury has called on the Muslim kidnappers who are holding 6 Americans in Beirut to meet his special envoy Terry Waite for talks on their release. The request came after a confidential letter from 4 hostages was delivered to Dr. Runcie.
The sealed letter, flown from Beirut and delivered straight to Lambeth Palace tonight, confirmed Terry Waite's hopes that his attempts to free the hostages, stalled after the Achille Lauro affair, could now begin again. His intermediary in the Middle East had in fact surfaced again today and agreed to seek an early meeting between Mr. Waite and the kidnappers.
I've pressed to him that I really do want a personal face-to-face meeting. And that has its difficulties. On the one hand, the captors have got to be able to trust me. And I hope that they'll realize that my reputation and integrity is such that they can trust me. And secondly, of course, I've got to be able to trust them. It might be to some people's advantage to take hold of me and keep me for a while. I hope that doesn't happen. But I think there's got to be some risk. And we've got to find a way of moving into the situation and